might refuse to take the vaccine. Now, there isn't a coronavirus vaccine just yet, but the debate is already raging about who will be the first to get it and who might refuse to take the vaccine. Now, infectious disease experts have said that to reach herd immunity, about 60% of the U.S. population at the very least needs to be vaccinated. Now, our next guest has a bold idea. How about paying everybody $1,000 to take the coronavirus vaccine once it becomes available, to reach herd immunity as soon as possible and move into that post-coronavirus pandemic world and also help with the U.S. economy? Joining us now is Robert Leighton, non-resident senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. Robert, this is a bold idea. Do you think the federal government will actually go along with a proposal like this to pay people $1,000 to take the vaccine once it becomes available?
Well, I think once you go through the math, the alternatives look a lot worse, and I'll explain why. You just said that infectious disease experts say we need 60% of the population to be inoculated. The problem is that no vaccine is perfect. Dr. Fauci has said he'd be really happy if we had one that was only 75% effective. So if you do the math, and we get one that's 75% effective, that means that you need 80% of the population to take the shot in order to achieve 60% herd immunity. Now, what are the chances of that? Well, according to the latest polling, 1/3 of Americans, I saw one poll said 35%, are refusing to take the vaccine, even when it becomes available and is widely available. So that doesn't get you to 80%. Now, Dr. Fauci has also been quoted saying we're not going to force people to take the vaccine. And frankly, I think if the government tried to force people, you'd have a huge counter reaction, much worse than the anti-masking kind of thing that we see today. So you can try to have people persuade. You have a massive public education campaign. But I think it's going to be really hard to cut into that hardcore 35% that's going to refuse to take the vaccine. So as an economist, I say to myself, well, what's the only way we're going to get there? Pay people. Now, the question is how much? I'll be the first to tell you I don't know how much, but I don't think $100 is going to do it. I think if you paid $1,000 a person, so for a family of four, you're talking $4,000. In these hard times, that's a lot of money. And I think a lot of people would take the vaccine for $1,000. And then I have a kicker on that idea. And that is, what if you offer the $1,000, but you don't get everybody up to the 80%? Well, in order to do that, what I would do is say, I'm going to hold back maybe 800 of the 1,000. So you get 200 when you walk in and take the vaccine, but you get the other 800 when the nation gets to 80%. So now everyone that takes the vaccine has an incentive to go on social media, talk to their friends, talk to their family, talk to their church colleagues, et cetera, work colleagues, and say, hey, take the vaccine because you and I will both get that extra $800. So you build in economic incentives for the country to get to the level of herd immunity. And I want to be crystal clear. If we don't get herd immunity, we're not getting our economy back, and we're not getting our society and our lives back. So I don't know what the alternative is.
I see what you're saying. Absolutely. We definitely want to get our economy back. We want to get to herd immunity. But $1,000 per person, the total cost is $275 billion. And we're seeing right now negotiations for another round of fiscal stimulus pretty much stuck between White House and top Democrats over the final price tag of that new fiscal stimulus. So that would be an additional money adding on to what they're already negotiating. So do you think there's a chance that first of all, that it would even pass with bipartisan support and that President Trump would sign such a proposal?
Well, I'm not sure that it's going to be relevant until the vaccine's actually here. The reason I put this out there is I want people to start thinking about it. But $275 billion, as shocking a number as it is really chicken feed compared to what we've already given out. And we're already arguing over whether it ought to be $1 or $3 trillion additional amount of money to basically have people be compensated while they're staying home. And the alternative is, as long as people stay home and we have massive unemployment, we're losing trillions of dollars annually in lost economic output because our economy is not at full employment. And so to get a shot for $275 billion to get our lives back and get our economy back seems to be the best investment you could make, and it's cheap. comparison to the alternative.
It's definitely a bold proposal, and I think it will get a lot of Americans' attention there when you're offering $1,000 to take the vaccine. Of course, we have to first get a vaccine, so we need scientists to do that work. But definitely a bold idea. Robert Leiden, non-resident senior fellow at Brookings Institution, thanks so much.
Thank you.